Hello, everyone. My guest today is Andrea. He's the CEO of WordLift, a visionary web entrepreneur focusing on semantic web, artificial intelligence, and SEO. The platform is a semantic platform for online content developed by working at the intersection between semantic technologies, natural language processing, and search engine optimization. Andrea, you ready to take us to the top?
Totally.
All right. So what is this sitting? Is this sitting on top of like GPT-3 or what's the underlying technology?
So we built our technology from the ground up during research projects back in the past. And we technically analyze the content and build knowledge graph. That's what we do in simple terms. We also use GPT-3 now for content generation, but that's not the core of it.
Okay. So explain to me, can you tell me the story of a real customer using you and how they're using you?
Yeah, so we get your site and then we analyze the content on your web pages and we build a knowledge graph, much like Google would do. And then we help Google understand your content on your website by using this knowledge graph. So it's an intermediate layer of metadata that allows search engine to understand the content better.
So if I plug in getlatka.com to wordlift.io, you'll scan the site, basically give me a knowledge graph report and say, Nathan, this is how Google is probably seeing GetLatka. Here are 4 things you could do to improve.
Right, but even more than that, I mean, we will help Google understand all the different entities that you have inside GetLatka. We're working, for instance, with ZoomInfo and other, database-oriented companies that use WordLift to present their data at best to search engines.
Interesting. When did you start working with ZoomInfo?
So a few months ago, I think we're just wrapping up the case and numbers are good.
How's it going? Are you enjoying working with them? Henry's been on the show many times. That's why I asked.
That's why I'm pointing this out. They have an amazing team. So
if you're doing a really good job, he'll just try and buy you. So are you in acquisition talks with Henry?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not yet. I mean, I haven't got a proposal, but I can do the SEO on GetLatka. Yes.
There we go. We love that. So what would I pay you? What's the average customer going to pay you?
Right. So the package that you would probably fill in, it would start at maybe $1,000 or $2,000 dollars per month, something like that.
Okay.
And then it would go up depending on the amount of data and the revenues that we can help you generate.
And when did you launch the company?
So we started in 2017 with the commercial operation. But as I said, we've been working on research for many years before that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When did the research first start?
2013, 2014, I started a company called RedLink in Austria, where we do part of the back end of the infrastructure of WordLift. Mm-hmm. And then 2017, I was commercially ready to enter into SEO.
Got it. Do you remember that first year? How did you get your first 10 customers?
So I've been in the business for many years, so it wasn't hard for me to get the first. I think what it was hard is like kind of making the first subscription and getting the first what was it, like €2,000 a monthly recurring. That's kind of it was like my okay, so we got it. Because of course I always been doing consultancy and working on different areas, so at a certain point, you have to decide now SaaS is the thing, and you're going to put your effort there, though it gets very easy to maybe get, a gig for a lot more money, but then you have to kind of focus on building the machine that makes the money and creates the value for the end user. And that's the game I was, I started in 2017 with
your agency, Andrea. This is a big thing. The most successful SaaS companies start as agencies. How large, what year did your agency do the most revenue, and how much revenue did it do?
So my biggest experience in that field, I got to 5.4 million euro. But there was a different agency. Then I sold that, and then I started basically preparing for WordLift, which was back in 2012.
When did you sell that first agency?
When?
The year?
Yeah, it was 2011.
2011. Interesting. Okay. So you learn, I love this, right? You learn what your customers need, you go into SaaS, but it's harder to get started in SaaS versus agency because you have to build recurring revenue. In 2017, how much did you grow your MRR to?
Sorry?
How much did you grow your MRR to in 2017, your first year?
First year, I think we broke even after 1 year and a half. Broke even means that we were paying our salaries, and the team at that point was maybe 3 people.
Okay.
So,
and how long was it to take you to break even?
1 year and a half.
One and a half. Okay, so in 2018, you had 3 people.
Yeah, 2018, I was profitable, and I've been profitable since then.
That's great. Okay, so and do you remember what revenue was in 2018?
2018, we were making what maybe less than 200,000 euro
per year.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So that's less than, call it, like a $15,000 a month run rate, up from $2,000 a month in 2017, your first year in business. But good growth. $2,000 to $15,000 a month is nice growth.
Yeah. I mean, we had a 3x in the beginning. I think now we are getting into between 30 and 40. That's a more sustainable growth rate. We can expand a lot. There is a lot of need of improving SEO with automation.
Mm-hmm. So what can I ask what MRR is today?
We are around 80, 90K per month.
That's congratulate. That means you just broke the $1 million run rate. So congratulations.
Yeah. We've done that last year. So 2020, we broke $1 million. We were actually 906,000 in euro. So we're below $1 million in euro, but we broke the $1 million. Yes.
Well, I love that. Congratulations, especially, I believe, because you're bootstrapped, correct?
Yeah, totally.
Love that. Okay, so last month, if you did, call it, $85,000 in revenue, how much went to the bottom line? Are you profitable?
Yeah, we are profitable. Of course, we are now investing on growth, but we are keeping an healthy balance. So pretty much we always keep like 30, 40% of that.
To the bottom line. Wow. So you took about $20,000 and your bank went up by 20 grand last month, basically.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Now, how do you, talking about your team, how many people are on it?
So we have now 15 people, 15, and 6 are tech. I kind of include myself into the tech, but maybe I shouldn't. So yeah, between 5 and 6. Okay. And then we have like three sales and 2 marketing, or 3.5 sales and 2 marketing. But it's gonna grow. I mean, we're gonna just expand now the marketing and the sales team, because currently we acquire clients with inbound, which means that if I take the marketing cost and I kind of put into the the numbers, we spend 160, 180 euro per acquisition of a client.
And what's the client going to pay per month on average?
So the lifetime value is between 1,200 and 1,400 euro. So the ratio there, it's very good. And then I realized that maybe we should start selling. But
how quickly? What's the payback period on the 200 euro or the 150 euros?
Sorry,
the payback period on the 150 euros.
So usually the lifetime value is 29 months for a client. But then we have these different cohorts, because we have the self-serving that gets the store and buys maybe the starter for a few bucks per month. But then the money are driven by the VIP and the enterprise, so the larger clients. So we do have these 80-20 split between enterprise and self-serving. And
how many customers today?
So we have served 2,070 clients last year, and we have roughly 700 active subscription. Because
700 active, like last month.
Yeah. Because a client would probably buy more than one. In our case, retention is very good after, of course, a period of time. We lose a lot in the first month, and then of course it goes kind of flat down. I think we have an annual churn of between 5 and 6%.
Monthly?
Annual,
and that's revenue or logo churn?
That's the revenue.
Wow, 6% revenue churn. That's super low. Do you have expansion revenue that makes up for the 6% loss?
Yeah, we do. Now we're trying to understand, between scaling up, because we have these very large clients that kind of demand attention, and we can scale up in terms of covering more websites or more data sets. And then, on the other side, we want to balance and get new clients on board. So that's kind of the tricky balance. I also love to make the product more than I love to make the business run. But I'm trying to fix that.
Andrea,
I promise I will.
you've made some bets on the pricing page in terms of what triggers will allow you to drive upsell revenue. You upsell currently based off domains, by web editors, and by schema types. Those are the quantifiable things that people you currently show. Which one of these is most powerful for driving expansion revenue?
I think the entity types are very powerful because depending on the type of content that you're serving, I can optimize for that type of content. But if you are a large organization, then my scale would be on the number of URLs. If you have one of our clients, it's Oakley, and then, the more URLs that we have to serve, the higher, of course, the retainer will go.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Love the site. This makes a lot of sense to me. Is talking about quota. Do your salespeople have a quota?
We do have two sales that have a quota, and one is focused on the enterprise. Maybe you know them. Gennaro Cofano for Week MBA is a big fan of your work, and it's been creating the commercial team from scratch, basically. So he has a vision on it.
What was his name?
Gennaro Cofano for Week MBA. He has a website and a podcast.
How did you convince him to join the team?
He was coming back from the US, and he was very strong at growth hacking, but he didn't understand the web much. And I taught him about the web and about SEO, and so we have a strong partnership there. And
did you have to give him equity?
I tried, but I didn't succeed because he wants money like you. He thinks that, he wants money and no promises. I think now equity are becoming money. So maybe I'll try it again.
What do you mean by that? Equity is becoming money?
I think the company is getting more value as we grow. We get more interest from people around the industry. We have a few Fortune 500 companies that are using WordLift already. So I think there is a potential that we can grow this big.
Mm-hmm. Do you own 100%?
Sorry?
Do you own 100% of the business?
Well, most of it. I mean, we have the cap table now is going to be kind of revised and simplified. But yes, me and my partner, David Riccitelli, own the most of the company. Yes.
And most is more than 95%?
No, it's less. I mean, we are in the range of 80%.
Okay. Where's the rest of the equity go to? Employees and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, it's internal.
Yep. That's great. Now, do you allow your employees, since you're bootstrapped and profitable, to participate in the profits at all? Do you give out dividends to them or anything?
We haven't done that yet, but I'm thinking about creating incentivization plans. We do have like a 5% kickback if you bring me a client, stuff like that, very basic, but we should do more. I think that there is a lot of potential in building a team together. We have kind of a distributed team, so I'm kind of struggling to, bring everyone together and find the good way to motivate people and grow, because that's essential.
How many of the 15 are remote employees?
I would say that we are 50-50 split.
Got it. Yeah, I got to tell you, I just found this tool called remote.com, and they make it so easy to manage these remote employees. Like, I don't want to deal with freaking paperwork in Indonesia or China or Australia, but you click a button, remote enables you to handle it. Do you use any tools like that to manage your remote teams?
So we do have a lot of tools for kind of feeling that we are all in the same space. Slack, Trello, probably the one that we use the most. We use EverHour for tracking times and tasks, which allow us to optimize, the work of everyone. So EverHour probably is the one that we would use the most. But I think it's more about the spirit of the company. Kind of, for us, we used to do like 2 gatherings per year where everyone gets in Rome or somewhere else and we get together. I think these are essential. We kind of missed that because of the pandemic, but we have to get back there, and definitely an incentivization plan is needed.
Guys, remote.com asked if they could sponsor the show. And if you listen or you come on like Andrea, I'm a tough cookie when it comes to negotiations. So if a sponsor doesn't give me some special deal, they never get mentioned. If they give me a special deal, I brag about them to everyone. So I'm going to brag very quickly. If you guys want to onboard your first remote employee at like a 50% discount, remote.com has given that to us. You can check it out at nathanlatka.com/remote. remote. If you're trying to build a great bootstrap team like Andrea, totally bootstrapped, past 1 million in revenue and profitable, check out remote.com. Andrea, what would you value the company at today?
Sorry?
What would you value your company at today?
Around five.
Walk me through that. Why 5?
5 million euro. Yeah.
Why is that? Why 5?
I mean, we have a kind of an aggressive business plan for the next 3 years. I think we have all the elements to grow at the moment. We just have to do more marketing, more sales, and get the product a lot more simpler for a large user base.
Would you consider raising capital, or you really want to stay bootstrapped?
I think we're evaluating also the option of raising capital. I think it's a good time. I'm not scared about it. I think we have good financial money in the bank, so I don't need that. I can use it in order to bring the company to the next phase.
How much
do you
think
about it?
Well, look, it's a different mentality, right? The bootstrap mentality is just different. The second you take your first dollar of VC, you have a board you have to manage, you have reporting you have to do monthly. It's just a different world. But if you did raise, how much would you try and target? How much would you raise?
If I would raise.
Yeah. How much do you think you would try and raise?
I think I would try to keep, an healthy balance. So probably I would give, less than 20% of the equities. And that would be a good match for me. But if you find me someone that wants to buy at 7 million, then I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, do you need all the cash today? Like, could you take $250,000 today and then $250,000 in 5 months and $250,000 5 months after that? Or do you want the full, like, whatever, $1 million or $2 million in investment today?
Well, we don't need it today because, as I say, we're cash positive, and in any case, in order to spend, you need to find the right resources. You need to, build the team. I don't need the cash immediately. I need someone that kind of helps me drive the company to the next phase because there is a lot to do.
Yeah. Well, look, we've just raised a very large fund at Founder Path specifically for this, but we don't take equity. What we do is we just turn your MRR to upfront cash. And so if you're at 90 grand a month in revenue, I mean, we could probably get you 400, 500 grand today, and you keep your equity, you grow, and then you go raise an even higher valuation in the future.
Right. That's pretty fascinating. I look at that. There is also this secure token offering that I was looking at, because that's another way. Problem is that, what I'm expecting from kind of bringing some investor in is also the guidance to kind of make the next steps. It's not just about the liquidity. Because liquidity now, it's very cheap to get because of the existing economical situation. It's not hard to find cash.
Well, I would be very excited to download everything I've learned from interviewing 3,000 SaaS founders to you, try and help you grow, get in with your 4-week MBA guy, help them scale the enterprise side of things. That could be, I think, way more than cash for you, but we'll take it offline. We'll chat more about it. I want to learn more about this product because this is interesting. We're spending a lot of money and time on SEO right now. So This is interesting. I want to get Latka through WordLift and see what you guys spit out. I hope you see a bunch of opportunities.
Yeah, I do. One thing that WordLift does in the SEO sector, which I'm sure you're familiar with, is that SEO has been primarily driven by analysis. So understanding, what you need to do. Now, what we try to do is what I call agentive SEO. So we want to do it for you without you having to understand it. Yeah. So that's kind of what we try to do.
All right. On that note, Andrea, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite business book.
The Diamond Cutter. I don't know if you read it, but it's a good mix between Buddhism and business development.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Oh man, I follow a lot of CEOs, but Jack Dorsey probably one. But I also like Yoast a lot. It's I admire the way in which he created a space in WordPress.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the business?
I use a lot. Personally, I use a lot Zapier, but I think company-wise, we are in love with Trello.
Yep. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I think I average this week is 7.43 minutes.
That's great. You must track that. I use Whoop. What do you use?
Garmin.
Very good. And what's your situation, Andrea? Married, single, kids?
I'm married with 2 kids, super happy father. So, yeah.
I love that. How old are you?
I'm 43, and the oldest daughter is 6, and the other one is 4.
Love that. Wow. What a special time for you. Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Focus more on things that can, bring you significant growth rather than kind of messing up with things that you love, which will, you will spend a lot of years before getting to. But at the same time, I really have no regrets. So I don't know what to say to my 20.
And hey, I meant to ask you, what's growth? If you're doing, call it $80,000 to $90,000 a month today, what were you doing exactly a year ago?
A year ago, we were probably within the 50, 60, something like that. I mean, that's pretty much.
Yeah. Guys, there you have it, wordlift.io, doing SEO work for you so you don't have to understand it. It's one click. They get it done, growing very fast. $2,000 a month in MRR back in 2017. They've now scaled to over $1 million run rate. They did more than $85,000 in revenue last month, and they profit a big chunk of that. 20 grand goes to the bottom line. They've done this with 705 customers, a team size of 15. They're bootstrapped right now. They would potentially sell less than 20% of the business at maybe around a $5 or $6 million valuation. We'll see what Andrea decides. Andrea, thanks for taking us to the top.
Awesome.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company, or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them, and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.